I'm 26. That's more than 2 decades I've been on this earth. Weird thing is, looking back, most of what I remember is looking forward. When I was a kid, I was so hyped for 4th grade because that's when we could finally ditch pencils and start writing in pen. Yes, this right here was my first ever pen, the legendary Reynolds 045. It came in all these different colors, lets me do some cool tricks like this. Survived every single fall and somehow still wrote smoother than many of my pens. And no, this isn't sponsored, but Reynolds, if you're watching this, call me up. At 10, I got obsessed with magic. Coins, cards, videos. But I learned only like 4 tricks, performed them twice. At 12, it was cricket. I thought I could become a really good batsman until I got
That's the area. That's the area.
And they are demolished.
I was trying all these different things every year, and looking at all this, my mom told me something. If you get good marks in 10th, you can do anything you want. Silly me studied like my life depended on. Stayed overnight, got the marks. I was really happy until she hit me with the plot twist. Well, what you score in 12 is what really matters. From there, it was the same old playlist. School, college, job, and that's where it all started. Me constantly thinking about what's next while totally missing the present. Would you trade lives with Warren Buffett? I mean, he's worth 130 billion. He reads and learns for a living. But there is no chance you would trade lives with him. Why? Because he's 95 years old. You wouldn't give up the time you have for all the money he has. But here's the wild part. He would give it all up to be you, to have your youth, to have your energy, to have your time. You see, time is the most precious asset. It's the one thing that we can never get back. But yet, we never think about its value. We stroll mindlessly, we compare ourselves to others, we stress about the past, we worry about the future. But my problem was a bit different. I've always had this weird feeling that I didn't really belong here. Like I was meant to be somewhere else, doing something else. I always kept worrying about my future and my place in it, like what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go, etc. So I started chasing one thing after another. For a while, it was this idea of success. I threw myself into working extra hours, taking on projects that I didn't even care about, just to feel like I was moving forward, just to feel I'm valuable. I skipped weekends with my friends, stayed up late trying to get ahead, but it kind of never really felt right. There was a void no matter what I did. I felt so So, just like any other guys, I love talking to my grandma in the kitchen. I don't know how it started, but I kind of spilled everything. I was telling her how tired I was, how stressed I am, how nothing in my life made sense at all. She was standing there quietly, listening to me, no interruptions at all. And then in the end, she looked at me and asked, Shah, when was the last time you did something purely for fun? Not for your resume or your bank account. So I was sitting there, I was trying to recall the last moment when I did something like that, and I couldn't. That question kind of stayed with me. That moment made me realize that I was so focused on getting somewhere, but I forgot to be somewhere. And that's when it hit me.
The problem is, we think we have time. Let's be real. We all wish we could go back to being kids, right? But the magic in our childhood wasn't because we were a child. It's because we were living in the present. Yet, as we grow up, somehow life turns into this waiting game. At least for me. Growing up, everything becomes later. Buy a car? Later. Travel? Later. Learn guitar? Later. Tell her? Later. I realized that happiness was around the whole time and all I had to do was look. You see, I used to think of past and future as two separate things. Turns out they are not. The past, it's all our memories, everything that made us who we are. And there is future, it's possibility, uncertainty waiting to happen. You see, I was so focused on those two that I forgot to be here in the present. But here's the thing. The present is not separate from the past or the future. It's the bridge that connects them. Without this moment, there is no memory behind us and no possibility ahead. It's like the thread holding it all together. This is life. So go out there and live a little.